Hi guys, it's Dr. Lou with Dr. Lou's Low Carb Diet. Now, today we have a fantastic new snack review. This is legendary. And that's not me saying what I think of it, that's the name. So, these potato chips or crisps, as we like to call them, or tortilla chips, these are basically coming in at 20 grams of protein and 3 grams of net carbs. This is what it states on the packet, but is it really keto friendly? So there are a lot of things said, but sometimes they don't add up, and we're going to find out today. Okay, so obviously we can see it's a lovely packaging. It's bright, colorful, looks like a premium product. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump onto the taste test now. And we want to then find out if these taste good and at the same time do the ketone test and see if the urinalysis shows us that these are conducive for a ketone diet. Now, the ketogenic diets are obviously something which are very sensitive. If you go anywhere out of the carb range, you are going to be slowing down your diet, or you'll be actually halting your diet, okay? And that's why these are very important to test. So there are lots of things that can trip you up. And now, what we're going to do, without any further delay, let's get into this bag of chip or crisp. Okay, so open them up. Well, I've done more, mess it up here. Here we go. Let's show you what it looks like inside. Now, you can see it's obviously foil wrapped, premium quality. This is the chip. You see it there. It's got some type of seasoning. This flavor is Legendary's ranch flavored, and these are popped protein chips, as they call them. So basically, again, you could notice they're probably more akin to those between a crisp and a rice cake. So they kind of look more like that, and in the past when I've tried them, they actually have that kind of texture, but it's still pretty good. So now let's give it the taste test. Yeah, wow. That is definitely ranch, without a doubt. So let me try again. Yep. Yeah, this is quite handy. If we have a look at them, they resemble like it, but you can see they're as they've said popped. They're slightly a bit more puffy. So compared to a normal crisp, they're a bit more lighter, a bit aerated, full of puffed upness, and again they remind me like a lighter rice cake, but with great flavor. So when you come to have a go at these, you can obviously see that don't expect them to be identical to the texture of Doritos, for example. These are probably in between a crisp and a rice cake. So let's try again. I'd give these definitely 9 out of 10. A very good ranch flavor. It's strong, it comes through immediately, it lasts, and the texture is 100%. Very nice, very crispy. They're coming close to being similar to a crisp, but still is reminiscent of having a rice cracker. Now, that rice cracker is something which you have probably tried before, but if you've tried diets before the ketogenic diet, again, it's kind of bland rice crackers. These aren't. These are full of flavor. So I'm actually quite impressed with these. That's why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Legendary have done a legendary result. And so the whole idea is this is a good bag of crisps. Now, we've done that, and now I'm going to go away, and it's going to be a second for you guys, a few hours for me, and I'm going to do my ketones test using urinalysis. And what does that tell you? Well, it's going to tell you whether these really are what they say on the actual bag. So remember, they're saying free net carbs, okay? Free net carbs. So they're saying you must tick off yeah, free carbs from your ketogenic 20-gram allowance per day. Now, obviously it varies depending on your age and so on, but that's where you always want to stick. Even if you're quite young, you still want to stick to 20 grams. You'll lose a lot of weight. Even if you're older, you'll lose, a decent amount of weight. So what we're going to do now, thumbs up for the test. Yeah, that is lovely. Very good flavor, lovely texture. Again, between a rice cake and also a crisp or potato chips, if any American viewers are out there. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go away, come back with the test, and then after the test, we're going to do a look and a breakdown of the ingredients. So the test coming up right now. Okay, guys, so the test is done. Gave us all the information, but now still quite importantly, if you're a type of person who likes to know what you're eating, I'm going to break down now the ingredients. Why is that important? Well, it's important because things add up, and it's still, even though it may not be a huge amount of carbs, it might not be still 4 grams or 3 grams as it states on the front there. So what does that mean to us? It means have a look at the information and see if it's going to be, giving us the correct points that we want to know. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw it onto the screen, and then what we'll do with that is it will then identify the ingredients, and I'll try to pinpoint if there's anything that's going to cause any issues, any type of things that are going to, say, for example, these ingredients can tell you if it's going to push you straight out of the diet. They can tell you if it's going to push you towards going out of the diet. They can tell you if it's going to keep you on track, or they can even tell you if it's conducive in the sense to make you go further into ketosis. So ingredients are quite important, and understanding them, you might think, okay, that's great, I've had it part of my diet, but it still might have some negative health impacts in there, or something that's not conducive for ketosis. So here we go. I'm going to throw it now onto the screen so you can see the packet, and we'll analyze it and then go through that. If you're not keen on it, see you later, guys. Again, if you leave now, please like if you like the snack taste review, and please subscribe. Also, I'll put a link in there for you to buy them. So here we go. Okay, guys, we can see it now up on the screen. So if you have a look here, this is the packaging. It gives you the information, and the ketone test will tell us whether or not it backs this up. So it's trying to tell us that obviously it's very good as well for a protein diet. If you're on ketosis, you want to avoid going over 200 to 250 grams worth of protein. Why? Because obviously you understand that protein as well can cause issues and also can be used as fuel. So it's quite rare in that sense. It's more carbohydrates and fats. But again, you don't want to get into that situation, so you want to obviously maintain your protein levels. 20 grams is quite high, but it's also good if you're doing weights or if you're doing something, again, where you're able to say, hey, I need to use that protein to utilize it to build muscle and lose weight at the same time. Now, looking here, it's a big 3 grams net carbs. You can see here it's ranch flavored pop protein chips, and it's Legendary Foods. That's the brand. Protein chips for snack food junkies. As a certified chip fanatic, you deserve a guilt-free crunch fest that satisfies your cravings without the consequences. That's why we popped a light and crispy protein chip with bold flavor and zero weirdness. Packing 20 grams of protein and only 3 grams of net carbs. Snack time is better than ever. Chip after chip after chip. More crunch in every bag, gluten-free. So, again, for you guys who don't like, gluten, then this is perfect for you as well. It's perfect if you're on a protein diet, and also at the same time, it's perfect for a ketogenic diet. So, hits 3 areas. This is obviously telling you this is what the product's about. Nutrition facts, serving size. 1 bag is 34 grams. So the calories per serving, 150 calories. So not too bad. Total fat, 6 grams. We know saturated fat is 1 gram, no trans fats, and you really don't want trans fats. If it has trans fats in it, you really probably want to be veering away from it for your health. cholesterol 10 milligrams, sodium 410 milligrams. Kind of okay for sodium for crisps anyway. We use a lot of obviously salt in crisps. Sodium is vital for us, and in the UK we like to say about 6 grams is pretty much the sweet spot for sodium by the NHS. And the reality is, again, a lot of people need a lot more on a ketogenic diet. Now, total carbohydrates, we have 4 grams. That's brilliant. It's quite low overall anyway. Dietary fiber, 1 gram, and total sugars, 1 gram. So we understand that 1 gram of sugars there is contributing to the carb load. And we then minus off the dietary fiber there. So this is American, I believe. This is the American system, slightly different to the UK system. And so we minus it off and we say 3 grams of carb. Now, it's worked out slightly differently in the UK, and we'll go through that, at that time. There's some calcium in it, some iron, and some potassium as well. Potassium is needed on the ketogenic diet, as well as sodium and other electrolytes. Why? Because obviously you lose a lot of them through the water and urination. So, moving on. Ingredients: protein blend, sodium caseinate, milk protein isolate, calcium caseinate, whey protein isolate. Now, high oleic sunflower oil, rice protein, lupin flour, contains less than 2% of the following: sour cream, which is obviously cream, non-fat, milk, and cultures. We then have salt, tomato powder, buttermilk powder, garlic powder, onion powder, natural flavors, non-fat dry milk, sugar, spice, yeast extract, xanthan gum, potato starch, polydextrose, paprika, tocopherols, which are the preservatives, ascorbyl palmitate, which is a preservative, and sunflower lecithin. Now, it says contains milk, so obviously we understand that there's sugar from that as well, lactose. So you have basically a few things here that are going to be seen as starches, probably some starches, some sugar, and they're going to be obviously contributing as well, most likely. So you have to understand it's very important to test. One thing in the USA system is that it just goes, carbs are basically sugars minus fiber. Now, again, it doesn't work that way perfectly. Also, you have to look at a few other things as well. So in the UK, we actually identify what will be used as energy, all of it, whether it's part of a fiber or whatever you're looking at. So main idea is that's why it's a good idea to test the potato chips or crisps, because the ketones aren't going to lie to you. So what's the main idea? The main idea is it looks like the ingredients aren't too bad. They look pretty conducive to obviously a ketogenic diet, but some of the starches there, some of the things there, we want to identify and see just to make sure they don't have an impact on our blood sugar or have an impact as carbs. So there are various different ways things can have an impact. We really want things not to be absorbed, or to be absorbed then pass through without being processed, or being processed and not used as carbs. So that's the main idea on the diet. It looks good. There isn't anything too bad there. You've seen the ketone test already. So again, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, please. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. See you later.